Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, or whatever you're watching me right now. My name is Jay Luke, the owner and operator of the Passionate Network, where we amplify the voices, elevate the culture, and champion the musicians. Don't forget, you can get 30% off your final purchase right here of anything that you get in our store. All you got to do is type in HBCU band. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. Man, this is going to be interesting, and I've been getting a lot about this particular thing, and we just gonna talk about it. We gonna go into it. So here we go. Mississippi Valley State University Mean Green Marching Machine invited to perform at the 60th presidential inauguration parade in Itabena. Itabena. Is it Itabena or Itabena? I think it's one of those. Mississippi. The celebrated Mean Green Marching Machine marching band from Mississippi Valley State University has received an invitation to participate in the 60th Presidential Inauguration Parade in Washington, D.C. on January 20th, 2025. The historic invitation highlights the band's legacy of excellence and cultural significance, showcasing the university and Mississippi's rich heritage globally. This invitation continues Mississippi Valley's tradition of groundbreaking national performances. In 1965, the band became the first historically black college and university ensemble to march in the Turn Over the Roses parade. They returned to Pasadena in 1968 and performed in President Nixon's inaugural parade, January 20th. These milestones reflect the band's enduring legacy as cultural ambassadors for Mississippi and the HBCU community. The total cost of this historic trip, including travel, accommodations, meals, and equipment, is approximately $350,000. $350,000 of them things. Mississippi Valley is committed to ensuring that every student can participate regardless of financial circumstances. The university asks alumni, supporters, and the community to support this monumental endeavor. This is not just a moment of pride for our university, but for the entire state of Mississippi, said Dr. Gerald Briggs, Mississippi Valley president. It is an opportunity to showcase our legacy, celebrate our culture, and invest in the future leaders of our community. This participation allows students to engage in the peaceful transition of power and gain global exposure while celebrating the university's 75th anniversary, Briggs added. To contribute to the Mean Green Marching Machine journey to the 60th Presidential Inauguration Parade, please click GoFundMe. That's right, GoFundMe, and then they have the QR code, so on and so forth. So it is right here on the screen if you want to go ahead and click that QR code. I want to make sure it stays up the whole time. Okay, let's go ahead and break this down. Let's go ahead and talk about this for a second. Here's my first thought. My first thought. The parade is January 20th, 2025. That's about, my math is not that great, but that's about 3 or so weeks away. And you have to raise $350,000 in 3 weeks. Now, I'm not saying that that's not feasible or possible. And what I will say is, when you're dealing with a historically black college and university, those amounts of funds, that amount of funding in a small amount of time without sponsorship can be pretty difficult. Okay. And I'm not saying that it's impossible for them to do, but what I am saying is that's a heck of a feat for about a 3-week span. And my personal opinion on that front is, because if I'm not mistaken, please somebody correct me if I'm wrong, in order to participate in a parade such as that, you have to apply. And if you applied, then the mindset also should have been making sure that you have the financial backing before you apply, because if you get accepted, then you got to get the finances. Now, I also have seen things where it was a situation where people find out that there was a performance happening. The people couldn't raise the money. And so the people who were holding the performance were the ones who reached out and paid for said performers. I've seen those things happen as well. Now, if that happens, hey, more power to you. You got your bread. But I would definitely say, man, in the short amount of time to raise $350K, man, that is a lot. And I guess my question is the university putting anything towards this? I guess that would be the next question. And I don't know that for sure, but that's why the question is out there, right? Like the university says they're going to do whatever they can to support you guys in every endeavor. And they also say that it's a great thing for the university. It's a great thing for the band program. So my question is the university putting up any funding towards this $350,000? Or did they put up funding and then all that's left is $350,000? I think that for me was the first thing that popped in my head when I initially got this information and received this information. But here's the second part of this thing that I find very interesting. I've been going up and down my timeline of all of my different accounts, and there are multiple accounts, and I've been seeing multiple people have their thoughts on this particular thing. Here's my opinion and here's my thoughts. I've been seeing people who are saying they're not going to contribute based on the fact of who it's for. Also dating back to when Brother Bonds took Talladega to the inaugural parade. And so many words and names have been pushed around. And it kind of takes me back to that whole, was it Chrisette Michele kind of situation where she performed at the inauguration and then she was blackballed? Listen, man. This is an opportunity for this program to be exposed and have exposure to an audience that would, in other words, never see them at all. I think it is exposure for those kids who have probably came from Mississippi. And my people are not from Vicksburg, but I got people in Vicksburg. So I got people who are down the street. And some of my people ain't never been too far outside of Mississippi. And that's no slight to my people. Love y'all family. But this is an opportunity for those kids to have an experience that they've never experienced before. That is not to say that all of those kids who are participating in the strength that they are, quote unquote, in support of said candidate. It is an opportunity to perform. And if I'm not mistaken, and please correct me if I'm wrong, please, somebody out there in this, YouTube space, world, whatever, correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't it the point to make sure that the students have every possibility to perform as much as possible, to get as much exposure and to have as many memories as they possibly can? Isn't that like the point? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's me. Maybe I just don't get it. Maybe I'm so far gone out of this concept of just performing in a parade. I'll do you one better. There are multiple people who don't believe in the idea of Christmas. There are multiple people who feel like Christmas is, quote unquote, a pagan holiday and so on and so forth. Yet, because of the fact of it is a level of exposure, they will still perform in something that they themselves don't necessarily 100% agree in, Because of the fact that it gives other people and the performers an opportunity to have an experience that they've never had. So I really don't understand I'm not supporting them because of the level of the performance that it is for. That is the thing that throws me. Now, it'd be different, in my opinion. It would be different if the whole band, all the students, the staff, the university, all were like, yeah, we are pro this person, and this is why we're doing it. But that's not even the case. The case, and it literally says it in black and white, this is an opportunity for the students to have exposure and perform. And they perform for Nixon. That's my thing. What is wrong with just saying, you know what? Let me step outside of my personal opinion and say, you know what? This is really for just the students' exposure to be able to perform. So let me support the kids on that front. Because regardless if they show up or not, the inauguration is still going to happen. He's still going to be voted in regardless of whether, unfortunately, we like it or not. Right? So just let the kids have the opportunity to perform. We will definitely, as the owner and operator of Passions, I'm going to support. We're going to put money in for them to go. Because I look at it from a different lens. I look at it from the lens of, I want to give these kids an opportunity that they have never in their life had before. I'll give you an example of what I mean by this. When I was gigging on the road, we had to perform for a Republican Party performance. And I was like, Now, mind you, the people, all of us, most of us is chocolate. And we were like, And this was in Minnesota. But I said to myself, you know what? I ain't never been to Minnesota. So this is an experience that I'll be able to have, that I can put on my list of things to say that I've had the exposure. I've been there. I was able to go to a place that I'd never been, travel, look at and be around the city, and literally be in a performance for what? 2 hours? I think it was 3 hours max for a 3-day trip. So 3 hours out of my day, but I have more exposure to the city, food, opportunity. So that's the way I look at it. And maybe I'm just looking at it wrong. Maybe I should be more in line with everybody else. But here's the problem. We are not all a monolith. We don't all subscribe to the groupthink. And I think that is another one of the problems that we have, is the fact that you all will vilify people because we don't all subscribe to the groupthink. And that is one of the things that I'm looking at this and I'm saying, this is an opportunity. This is just an exposure for kids. This gives them a chance to be able to play. This gives them a chance to be able to play in front of people they otherwise more than likely would have never been played in front of before. And who's to say somebody out there may see them and say, yo, I like them. I want to get them for something else that has nothing to do with politics. You just never know. But if you turn down an opportunity because, it's for this person, you don't know what opportunities you can probably get. And you never know what exposure these kids may go down to DC, and these kids have never been to DC before, see it and then be like, yo, I like it out here. And then somebody comes up to them and says, hey, are you a senior? Yeah, man, I like the way you guys play. Do you have a business card? You just never know. But remember, this is for the exposure of the students. And we're not all a monolith, and we all do not subscribe to the groupthink, and we got to get out of this. Look past your personal thought processes and endeavors. Again, let me say this, and let me be very clear. I did not vote for said person. But I will say this. I am not going to say that these kids should not have an opportunity to perform either. I'm just not going to say that. I'm going to give every kid an opportunity to be able to subscribe and to expose themselves in a way that it's not a negative light. I don't care how you look at it. It's not a negative light. They're just performing. They're doing a parade. No different than doing a Christmas parade, Rose Bowl. Shout out to Jackson State, by the way. It's a parade. They're not endorsing. We got to look past that. We've got to say, hold up. Let me look past that. That's just my opinion. You guys tell me your thoughts inside of the comment section, man. Are you going to be actually donating? Are you going to be wishing them well? If you don't have the bread to donate, that's perfectly understandable if you don't have the bread to donate. But are you going to be supporting them on just the performance alone, not the supporting on the politics? Because you realize this whole conversation, I didn't make it about politics because it's not about politics. But again, are you going to be supporting these kids on just being able to have the endeavor and to be able to perform in this particular area, in this place where they will be able to be seen in places where they otherwise would not have been seen? Or are you just like everybody else and just like, yeah, no, I'm good. I don't necessarily support them in doing that, and I don't support that party, and I'm not going to support them doing that. I want to see all of that inside of the comment section, man. Give me your thoughts. I want to see and read all of your thoughts. I was about to say here, but I'm not going to be able to hear you talk. So put that all inside of the comment section. Remember, you can get 30% off your purchase. Just type in HBCU band. Remember, I love y'all. I really do. I appreciate y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.